All right, I'm no fashionista, okay? I wear the same jacket every time I come on this podcast for branding purposes. But this thing looks like the tiger version of Lacoste. Can we pull up a Lacoste logo and the Sunday Red logo and like put them right next to each other? I want to actually see them side by side. God damn, Tiger, get some original ideas. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast with your host, Noah Lack. I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about entrepreneurship, but sometimes I go solo and want to rip off the latest news, what's going on in the industry, what you should be paying attention to. We're going to get right into it, but before we do, please, if you can, like and comment on this video so we can keep growing and get on amazing guests. Please like, comment. All right, let's get right into it. So when we talk about headlines, okay, the first headline, every time I see the news around athletes and business, Tom Brady is always in the mix, okay? In fact, if there's not a Tom Brady headline, then something is genuinely probably wrong. Like the earth is off its axis or like there's something seriously going on medical-wise with like there's a Brady headline every week, every other day. So here's the latest. So according to Essentially Sports, shout out my guy Vishal at Essentially Sports, by the way, Tom Brady has acquired a 50% stake in CardVault. Well, actually, it's not named CardVault anymore. It's CardVault by Tom Brady. CardVault is a sports card and memorabilia retailer working in the sports and memorabilia market, which is, according to Essentially Sports, valued around $33 billion. For those out there, do you even deal with sports cards anymore? Is that like just a children's thing? Or are there grown people collecting these types of cards and stuff? I know memorabilia, shoes, worn jerseys, that kind of stuff's a big deal. And people want to get access to used jerseys from players. So I understand that. But like when we talk about sports cards, does anyone give a shit? Do you care? Please comment, because I genuinely do not own one sports card. I don't even remember diving that deeply into sports cards when I was younger. But this seems like a way inflated market than what it actually is. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, dude, like give me a jersey. You know, give me a signed shoe. When we talk about a signed card, like, yeah, sure. But man, this industry is a lot bigger than I think we think, than I thought initially. And I think it's inflated. I don't think it's that big of an industry, but I'm not the expert here. I'm just reporting the news. This is a news podcast, so enjoy it. According to Complex, Cleveland Cavaliers forward Tristan Thompson is the new chief content officer and lead advisor of a startup called Tracey AI. During All-Star Weekend, Tristan, Malika Andrews, and Darius Garland had a discussion, and around it was Tracey AI. And Tracey AI will be delivering, quote, real-time analysis, predictive insights, and unparalleled fan engagement. Thompson, who reportedly played an important role in Tracey AI's developmental process, shared firsthand insights on how the technology is set to transform the way fans, basketball analysts, and players themselves engage with the game.
Meet Tracey AI. Revolutionizing sports commentary and analytics. Tracey is your AI commentator for all sports with deep basketball expertise, analytical feedback, and an unparalleled fan engagement experience. Tracey also helps pro players analyze and improve their game with precision insights. Tracey is also multilingual, providing real-time responses in all languages. Tracey AI coming soon.
So here's my issue with this, and I see a pattern with this sometimes with startups and athletes. I am the one who champions bridging the gap between early stage companies and athletes, but there's a point where a line gets crossed unknowingly. And in my opinion, that's fractional leadership. What I mean by that is Tristan Thompson is an employee of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is on a nice, lucrative contract. Sometimes, before the Cavs, he's actually with ESPN, so he does media. He has media obligations. He has his basketball. Obviously, he is still playing. He's not retired. And yet, he is in a C-suite role of an early-stage, tech startup, which would probably need 100% of his focus for it to really, really succeed. He has significant equity. He clearly has a huge role in this. My thing is, look, I think athletes should be advisors and have equity in companies, and they can help in small but very significant ways, as we've continuously described. But when it comes to fractional leadership, like how much is Tristan actually going to be able to contribute to the company on a day-to-day basis? That's my big question here, because this is more than just an investor advisor role. He has like a C-suite position, chief content officer. Obviously, roles change, and what he will do will change over time. But to sell that an NBA player is a co-founder of yours or a legitimate business partner, and yet he plays 82 games of the year, as an investor or someone who is a stakeholder in the company, you can do the math and realize that on a lot of late nights, 82 nights of the year, which is a lot in startup land, Tristan Thompson will be unavailable because he'll be on the bench or hopefully in the game, getting rebounds and setting picks for the Cavs. So like he's not like, how big of a help is he going to be with this company? I'm skeptical, and I think this happens. And I'm not just picking on Tristan because I'd love him on the podcast to talk about Tracey AI, but like this is something that I would avoid for tech companies. So like it's good to have them as investors, but like, is Tristan going to help that much? I'm skeptical. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, so the NBA revealed the new shooting robots. Very exciting technology for the NBA, for the robots to shoot and rebound for the players. My problem with it as a business is like it is so expensive and tech intensive, and there's only so many people that would buy it. And so like I know a ton of founders and people building like robots that are helping, a ton of people building shooting machines that are helping people shoot easier, track shots, and building the hardware with it. And they want to sell the teams. And like teams are some of the worst buyers. Like sports teams are so stubborn when it comes to what products and technology they use. And so like, yeah, you could sign a contract with an NBA team and it could be $250,000. And like, but if you don't secure like a couple of those, it's not going to work. Like it's just so much time and energy. And then like you sell it to like try to sell it to consumers. And one, a lot of kids don't have like the capacity and the urge to use it. And two, grown adults only will want to use a shooting gun like a couple times a year as a casual. And so like, who do you sell these robots that these companies are building to? I don't understand. I personally don't understand. In my opinion, I feel like it's such a heavy lift for such a small market. And so the NBA revealing this whole new robotic shooting technology, I think is a false signal to a lot of people in the sports tech space, in my opinion. They're like, oh yeah, we love this technology. Okay, then why the hell won't the Miami Heat buy my shit? It's just a little disconnect there. So anyways, moving on. Oh, I love this one. Jalen Brown is partnering with a brand for the first time in his career. Congrats, JB. As part of his deal with Oakley, Jalen Brown will design sports apparel and eyewear. Jalen Brown is someone I have wanted to interview for years. He's a very interesting guy in how he approaches his business off the court because he's so smart but so selective. Obviously, you saw the whole thing with him and Team USA, the whole shoe deal thing, and this eyewear looks kind of cool. I'm not sure how I feel about the nostril thing. I don't need more air coming to my nose. But the Oakley glasses look pretty sick. Got the whole little Kanye vibe going. This is interesting to me because Jalen Brown is super, super particular. These Berkeley guys, man, I'm sorry, man. Some of you Berkeley guys are crazy to me. You're so particular on what you like, you don't like. It's a very interesting taste from these Berkeley folks. And no disrespect, but I have family who went to Berkeley. But like, man, some of y'all are on some weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. But Jalen Brown in particular, he is incredibly smart. And so for this to be his first brand deal, he must really see something here, or it's just like, you know what? I'm tired of being so contrarian. I'm going to actually do a brand deal. I think sometimes some guys feel like they need to be contrarian or like over contrarian. It's like, nah, bro, if they're paying you to like make sunglasses, bro, make sunglasses. If Oakley wanted me to make sunglasses, I'm happy to do that. That'd be pretty sweet. So it's just fun to see this because of how like contrarian Jalen Brown has been. So yeah, I find this very interesting. And this is not, to me, just not a normal brand deal. This signals something further down the line. I actually want to pay attention to how this relationship between Oakley and Jalen Brown evolves. Jalen Brown was an intern for a venture capital firm in San Francisco called Base Ventures, run by Eric Moore, who's a very established, awesome investor. And I think like this education Jalen Brown got early on has kind of shaped of how he approaches the business beyond the game. And even though I'm joking around and teasing Jalen for being contrarian, the guy knows what he's doing. I think some guys really don't, but like I believe Jalen Brown truly does. So, anyways, moving on. Tiger Woods. What's up, Tiger? Tiger has started his own apparel line, Sunday Red. For those who don't know, I didn't know. And they signed their first official non-Tiger PGA Tour ambassador, and his name is Carl Phillips. Carl Phillips is now an ambassador for Sunday Red. All right, I'm no fashionista, okay? I wear the same jacket every time I come on this podcast for branding purposes. But this thing looks like the Tiger version of Lacoste. Can we pull up a Lacoste logo and the Sunday Red logo and like put them right next to each other? I want to actually see them side by side. God damn, Tiger, get some original ideas. No, I'm kidding. It's a cool brand. I'm surprised that he didn't kind of collab with Nike on this. Anything Tiger builds or touches in the golf space, I'm rocking. So I will take free Sunday Red merch. But I found it interesting. It kind of reminded me of the Lacoste logo. Low-key, what do y'all think? Does it remind you of the Lacoste crocodile? Lastly, according to PRNewsWire.com, Bruce Bolt, the industry leader in premium batting gloves and performance gear, is proud to announce an exclusive partnership with rising baseball star Dexter McClellan Jr., who's 15 years old. Stand-up baseball prospect. He's 15 years old. This is the youngest Creator Series athlete that Bruce Bolt has signed. According to Bear Mare, founder and CEO Bear Mare, that is a cool name. Bear Mare. Bruce, founder and CEO of Bruce Bolt. Bear Mare. Every time I say his name, I'm gonna go Bear Mare. Quote: Dexter's the perfect embodiment of what Bruce Bolt stands for: hard work, passion, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. He's 15 years old, first NIL deal. Let me tell you guys something, because next week is gonna be a 14-year-old sign an NIL deal. The following week, a 13-year-old is going to sign an NIL deal. The next week, someone's going to be 12 years old. And then 5 weeks from now, there's going to be the first toddler who has potential who signs an NIL deal. And so I just want to channel my inner PK Subban. I don't know if you guys saw PK Subban go on First Take and basically yell at Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp that the NHL had more passion than the NBA, and those guys really bring it, which he was right. He's like, hockey, they really bring it. In hockey, you pay for your pride, man. It's not about the money. And he's right. I mean, I enjoyed that USA-Canada matchup, and I bring up PK Subban because as young athletes continue to make money earlier and earlier, I just wish as these athletes make money younger and younger, you put that clip of a PK Subban and you watch it before you really get into the big money of business and sports business, because these guys will probably lose a lot of passion for the game early on at this rate. All these young kids signing NIL deals, the meaning of how they got there, what it took to get there, gets lost in all the sauce. And I don't know how you stay super passionate for the game and continue to grind like you have nothing when you have brand deals before you even like take your first AP class. Everyone's economic situation is different, and so I don't know what Dexter is going through or whatever, but just like when a parent says you can't have a cell phone until you're in 8th grade, if my son was nice at hoops, I'd be like, bro, you can't get an NIL deal till college. You got to wait until you get that smartphone. You got to wait until you get that NIL deal. Now, if it's money that's undeniable, okay, sure, we can have that conversation. But like if Bruce Bolt is only, I don't know, paying this guy X amount and it's just not a life-changing brand deal, then is it worth it? Considering the long-term effects of him, if the ultimate goal is to play in the big leagues, but you're too distracting with media obligations and brand deals, is that a distraction? Anyways, I don't mean to like put this particular case under a microscope. I'm reporting the news here, but in my opinion, I think these high school kids signing brand NIL deals too early could affect them early on. I mean, we see countless times where guys peak too early. I think NIL, a negative impact could help. NIL is making guys not realize their full athletic potential. If you really think that you're capturing your full economic potential, then go for it. But otherwise, he's 15, bro. Like, he hasn't taken AP history yet. Like, golly, let the kid hit a few more dingers. Like, you couldn't let him hit like 10 more dingers before signing him. That's interesting. But anyways, yeah, this is the news for the week. If you guys enjoyed that, please let us know in the comments. Or if you didn't enjoy that and want to see something else, roast us in the comments. Helps us either way. Please like, subscribe. You know where to find us. This has been the Athletes and Assets podcast with your host, Noah Lack. Hope you enjoyed.